Sorry about that, guys. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Not only for Ecuador, Germany, but Ivory Coast as well. So, but we'll have our group because obviously 3 games are going at the same time. I'm watching Ecuador, Germany, but obviously we'll switch to Ivory Coast, Curacao as well. And obviously that's the table as it stands. So really, Ecuador needs something from this game to have any chance of qualifying in third place, and hope that, weirdly enough, well, I mean, Curacao, I think, can't qualify. I think. Goal already. Sane. Goal 1-0. And Ecuador, damn, inside 2 minutes. Inside 2 minutes. Ecuador. Wow. It's a foul. You gotta look at it. Yeah, it's too high. Yeah. Sorry. I agree. I don't, but I kind of agree with them. The foot is too high. They should probably look at this. Interesting. She's given the goal. It looked like a high boot to me. Yeah, I thought it would have been enough to rule it out, but so I don't know about that, but okay. Referees, I mean, it's not her fault, obviously. I'm not sure what VAR was doing, but obviously this is a terrible start. Not the best start at all. So right now, Ecuador's a -1, but they've only got a point. So they did need to. I mean, really, let's be real. If Ecuador it's their own fault. If they'd beaten Curacao, then at least they could have done the whole third place thing. The fact that they didn't, it's theirs. They lost to Ivory Coast, let on 1-0. Okay, you got to beat Curacao. You didn't beat Curacao. I don't know. That's a foul, man. That's a foul to me. I don't know how they didn't give that, but they need to get something from this game. And they need to get something from the game quickly. Oh, big up SSB, man. Yo, who scored? Leroy Sané scored, but you have to look at the goal because I think there was a foul in the build-up. Well, high boots by one of the German players. Literally goes to get wins the ball, but like as his foot comes down, his studs do hit the guy's head, or they drag against it. So for me in the Premier League, if it's a high boot and the studs hit, it's a foul. So, but VAR didn't intervene and they gave the goal. So it is something that I've noticed about this World Cup. They do seem to be very lenient with things. I mean, I'm not averse to it because I would rather things be kind of let go as opposed to constantly blown up on the time. But there's some things that I've been like, come on, that's the England game, the Ghana penalty. Haiti even had their chance of penalty. There's been a few instances where it's like tricky. So, but obviously, as you can see in the table, let's see. Ooh, Bits loses it, obviously. Oh, good tackle. Oh, brilliant goal. It's a good goal. It's a good goal. It's a good goal. But bro, you need to get the ball. Like Ecuador's still going out. You've only got 2 points. Bro, you need to I know they should celebrate. It's a brilliant goal. It's a brilliant goal. 1-1. Is that Angolo? 9 minutes, man. This is a game. It opens up from Golo. It's a brilliant strike. It's a brilliant strike. No, Neuer Forsheld. I think 30-year-old Neuer gets that. It's a fantastic strike. And Ecuador. But, 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 but. Well, I mean, Ecuador can only be third anyway because they lost to Ivory Coast. But and Ivory Coast have scored. I don't. And it was Nicolas Pepe that scored it. I want to quickly see the goal. Yeah. Nicolas Pepe has scored for Ivory Coast. 1-0. But I mean, the Ivorians are always going to finish top regardless. So it doesn't really, second regardless, it doesn't really change it. Even if Germany lose this game, Germany are still going to finish top. So it's not really. That's the weird thing about this. Like whether Germany win, lose, or draw, they're finishing top. Whether Ivory Coast win, lose, or draw, they're finishing second. So the only significance of this group is Ecuador need to win to at least give them a chance of round 32, because then they'll get 4 points and the GD might be okay. With 2 points, that's not going to be enough. 2 points ain't going to be enough. Oh, Noy late diving. Yeah. Noy is 40, man. Noy is 40. Noy is 40. Noy is 40. Bro, I didn't stay up because it was late. So, but I did. The thing though is that like they're showing the Nicholas Pepe. So yeah, I think the issue was, I mean, I think I saw when they played against Czechia, I was like, okay, wow, the pass and move, it's good, quick, and I was surprised. But last two games they reverted to type. And I don't know if it's because too physical or like I don't really get it. SSB, I don't. Um, they were awful against Mexico. They were slow, tepid, and against South Africa, they weren't any better. Um, I didn't expect South Africa to. I thought after that loss to Mexico, they were gonna. Czechia. The thing is, though, is that I think a lot of people thought Czechia were going to top the group, but when you actually look at the, but again, that was just European bias history. If you actually look at how they qualified, their group was like Faroe Islands, Gibraltar, and I think Ireland, and there was a group of five, and they topped that group, and that's why they're here. That's it. So the fact that like people thought they were going to do something when they qualified in a group which was crap, effectively, probably explains it. And I think a lot of European teams that qualify from these shoddy groups are struggling. South Africa topped their group that had Nigeria in it. Mexico, home nation tax, but obviously did well, and South Korea. But yeah, the South, I think there's some big issues. I mean, the FA, the leagues, South Korean football is in a bit of a mess right now. And before long, I think Japan will take over. However, um, if things stay the way they are, Japan um, are probably going to be facing Brazil in the round of 32. They looked 180 from the game. Yeah, absolutely. We're watching both games, by the way. I'm watching Ivory Coast, but the main game is Germany Ecuador because that's where the stakes are. I watched the game that has more of the stakes in, because it doesn't really matter if Ivory Coast win or lose the game. Nothing really matters. But in this, things do change if Ecuador win. And if you're Scotland, you really hope Germany win this, because another team, they dominated Korea. They did. What I've noticed for Korea is that they're kind of like Japan back in the day, where they struggle to deal with physical teams. They do have technical players, but they just don't have the tactics to deal with teams that are physical. They just don't. Against Mexico and even against Czechia, when Czechia was spamming in crosses in the box, they couldn't cope with it. So when you come across Mexico or South Korea, teams that are physical, they're athletes, they're competitive, they just don't have the ability to do it. And you could say that's genetics or not, but you need to work around that, because Japan, Netherlands are more in quote physical than Japan, wise, but they got a 2-2. Tunisia, able to dominate them. We'll see what Japan do against Sweden. I think they'll destroy them. So Japan have found a way as an East Asian country to do it. South Korea need that. So we'll see. I had Mexico topping, but not South. Yeah, I had Mexico topping as well, but I thought South Africa would finish third. I think it was Mexico. I think for me it was Mex. I actually think I did put Czechia bottom, but for me it was Mexico, South Korea, South Africa, and then Czechia. Just because Mexico home tax, South Korea experience, and then South Africa their thing. So, oh, Stephanie, hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Thank you, big up, boys. Hope I'm well. I'm good. It's good to hear from you, Stephanie. So yeah, it's just been a bit life busy on my end. So, but I will be doing Manchester United stuff when we get back. Maybe not as many live shows as I used to be able to do, just because of the timing and family commitments. But I will definitely try. I certainly want to try and watch Champions League. That's those Champions League streams because I think that they're often 8 o'clock kickoffs. So Champions League is definitely going to be a must in terms of streamings. That's definitely going to be back. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, good to see you, Stephanie. Thanks for coming by. Make sure you like the vid, subscribe if you're new, if you're watching on Twitch as well. Follow us on Twitch. In fact, let me post the Twitch link in the chat. Just in case you have not followed us on Twitch, we're trying to get to 100 followers on Twitch, so. Also, second channel, Red Devil Studio Extra. We want to get 100 on there as well. So oh, absolutely. Looking forward to you so next season. Stephanie, I mean, even especially because of this is the first time United to play in the new league format. So unlike the previous one where you've got you play the same team 2 times, so 6 games in total. We have 8 games, so 2 extra games and different opponents. So I'm really looking forward to seeing who United. We're in pot 2. So obviously we're going to be playing 2 teams from pot 1, 2 teams from pot 2, 2 from 3 and 4. So they're going to be some big games. Some really, really big games. We can't play Villa, Liverpool, Arsenal, or Manchester City, obviously. So no doubt it's going to be one of Bayern, PSG, Barca, Madrid, possibly Inter, maybe I think a pot 1 as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Those Champions League are going to hit different, and also it'd be good to see where United are. One of the things about this whole league format is that it's good to see where the level of are in European competition. Because quite frankly, Spurs were crap in the Premier League. I've seen they'll finish 17th. They still finished top 8. And but for goalkeeping howlers, maybe they do get through against Atleti, So on top of the fact that, like, unlike the last time, we actually have a competent keeper. We have a competent keeper. I trust Lemons over Onana. So, last time we won the Champions League, Hoyland, if I remember, actually did the right, score goals, but Onana cost us that league campaign. Let's keep it a stack. So with Lemons in goal and hopefully some midfield reinforcements this summer, hopefully we can kick on. But we need more depth. That's the most important thing for me. We played 1 game a week pretty much for most of the season. We need several signings if we're going to compete in all competitions. And Ecuador on attack here. Okay. We had a taste of new form with Europa on the scene before last, but yeah, you're right. You're right. We did, but yeah, it's not the same because it's just the man of the teams we're playing against. Really, you felt that with Europa, especially because United and Spurs were doing so bad. It was just almost like a walkthrough until at least the semis. that Lyon game, which was a disaster class until Harry Maguire rescued us. But the Champions League, Champions League nights are different. You know. And I think especially if we all good ball, if we can hopefully get a top 8, then maybe we get a decent. That said, PSG, I don't think they finished top 8 in the last 2 seasons. Interestingly enough, they didn't finish top 8 in the first 2, and they still won the Champions League. So maybe this whole top 8 thing doesn't really make a difference. If anything, I think what it does is if you are a strong team that finishes outside the top 8, you then face obviously a stronger team. But then I think in the round of 16, but then I think the draws after that get better. So we need a proper number 6 and goal to come in for me to free up Kobe and Bruno. I agree because people are gassing Fernandez. To me, Fernandez isn't that dude, man. Fernandez isn't he's not that dude. Especially for 85 million to get a guy who is he really the replacement for Casemiro? I don't think so. For me, if Tchouaméni is available, spending 80, 90 million, you can't get him and Fernandez for financial reasons, fine. Then maybe you can get maybe a cheap midfielder. I don't know how much Dortmund would want to sell and Amicha. We're apparently been linked with Amicha, even though I think it's paper talk. Oh, cleared. Ecuador are coming though. Ecuador are coming. Germany need to watch out. But yeah, Tchouaméni definitely. It'd be interesting because all Ecuador are really pressing. The way I see it is that I think I could be wrong because Real Madrid still have money, but if Real Madrid want to spend, it's going to be on Enzo. If Real Madrid want Enzo, I want to spend 120. They've got to sell a player. I think that's what I need confirmation of. If they want to spend 120, 30 million, which is what? Oh. If Madrid and Mourinho really wants ends of 120, 130 mil, they got to sell a midfielder. As it stands, it doesn't seem like they want to let him go per se. But it'd be interesting if they go Enzo, because for me, I don't think they can have Enzo, Tchouaméni. Madrid can't have Enzo, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Camavinga, although they probably won't mind him going, etc. As well as you've got Bernardo Silva, who they've now signed on the free as well. I don't know. I think Mourinho wants him to stay, but maybe the logic will be if you want Fernandez, you've got to sell Tchouaméni, and then if Tchouaméni is available, we buy him for 80 mil and should be fine. Even 90, I would do it for him. 6 likes, yeah. Big up, get the likes up, guys. Get the likes up, please, 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 please. Oh, it's a good ball. But Havertz, because for some reason, this is one reason why I wasn't a fan of Nagelsmann. Undav is basically the reason why Germany are where they are right now, and man still wants to play Havertz again. Oh well. Where was this Ecuador? I've got no idea. But I think because they were leaning more towards them being really defensive, that causes problems. But at the end of the day, like they should have played like this against Curacao. The reason why Ecuador, they should have qualified from this group, but they're not because ultimately they bottled it to Curaçao and got a draw. Real Madrid got the money. That's what I'm saying. So for me, Real Madrid, if they want Enzo 130, they need to sell to win. I suspect I expect the Tuchmani deal. I get the impression it's one of those things that will probably build up as the transfer window come. Not World Cup now. What there's too much stuff going on, but come close to the season, last 2 3 weeks, I think it's one of those that builds up. Um, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I might be the only Manchester United fan that doesn't really feel particularly like hyped with the Fernandez. Like he's from my gather, he was relegated with Southampton and West Ham. Like he's okay. I'm not saying he's a terrible player, but the way that people talking about United fans talking now, like he's like the second coming, as if he's the solution to the thing, and he's going to be 85 million. It's like if Spurs want to spend 85 million and ridiculous wages, let them. Just let them find someone else, man. Ahmad. I'm also on Ahmad watch, by the way, because Ahmad is obviously going through still. But this is good. It is. And Ecuador need to win. So I am also on Ahmad watch as well, though. I want to see how Ahmad's doing because I feel like if Ahmad has a good World Cup, that will give him a lot of confidence going into next season. Last season, you could see his confidence was a bit shot. So if he has a good World Cup, I think he can take that into next season and do it because we're going to need him. Next season, it's just about a squad game. It's not about a brilliant starting 11. It's about having the best squad available and getting them all involved. We can't play the same starting 11 for all the games that we're going to play next season. During these elections that Perez had and normally wins, his opponent Rakim to the club blows through way too much money to buy players. They end up with less money despite that. Yeah, despite billion-euro claims. Yeah, of course, of course. Despite all the amount of money that rooms you get, obviously they're a huge wage bill. They're showing that get their goal again. That's a foul, man. It's a good goal. At least Ecuador something to celebrate. I think that's Ecuador. Is that Ecuador's first goal? Was that Ecuador's first goal? Yeah. No wonder they were celebrating so much. That was literally Ecuador's first goal of the tournament because they didn't score against Ivory Coast and they didn't score against Curacao. It was 0-0. That is their first goal. So at least they gave the fans something to celebrate out a goal. Actually attack. Yeah. It would be a shame if Ecuador didn't go through. It would be. This might sound crazy. South Africa looked better than Morocco yesterday. It's interesting. It's interesting because I think as it stands, SSB, I think they face Canada. Ooh, not that. Well, yeah, because I mean, if I get, I might actually be able to find it. The As Things Stand, because that's a good. The BBC have a really good. Let me get BBC Sport on. It is so hot in the UK, by the way. Oh, support and Valencia. Oh, that's not good. It's good defending. Let me share this screen. So hopefully you can see that. Morocco, I don't think will go far. Canada versus South 50 Netherlands versus Morocco. Netherlands favourites. I agree. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, this is it's actually really it's. I've not seen any other website have it actually. Um, but yeah, as it stands, uh, Germany placing Paraguay, France, Sweden, South Africa versus Canada, and then Netherlands in the other in the versus Morocco. So Netherlands wins. So you probably get a. I think South Africa could beat Canada. You know, I mean, if they play like they did yesterday, I mean, Canada they've got a lot of hype and motion rushing, but I think South Africa could beat Canada. Now Morocco, Netherlands, it's a tricky one because yes, okay, they were lackadaisical, and Ecuador's ball, it's 3-on-4, and Valencia balls taken against what's it called again, Haiti yesterday. But maybe that's just because they knew they couldn't top the group, relax, etc. I still feel Morocco's midfield. I feel they're able to control the game maybe a bit better than Netherlands. I'm not sure. Um, it's going to be an interesting game. I still think Netherlands Morocco is 50-50. You know, we saw in the last World Cup how they were able to deal with Spain and Portugal. You know, and the fullbacks, I think, you know, will Netherlands be able to deal with Hakimi and Matswari going forward? I don't know. It's a tricky one, that one. Portugal, Ghana, as it stands. Spain, Austria. So you could get a Portugal, Spain round of 16. Interesting. Uh, then United States, Bosnia Herzegovina. USA are beating Bosnia Herzegovina. That's their foot on 16. Musiala block. Egypt versus South Korea. I don't know about this one, but I think Egypt. Brazil, yeah. England, Cape Verde. I mean, I think that will change because Cape Verde will probably beat Saudi. So we'll see. But I mean, this is interesting because if it did stand like this, you got Mexico, Scotland, England, and actually, if you're Scotland, Scotland are bad, but if they could somehow get something over Mexico, galvanize themselves, because Mexico is not harder than Brazil. If they can somehow do something against that, you're facing England in the round of 16. And if you summon the spirit of Braveheart, you're in a quarters. It's actually, if you're Scotland, if you're able to survive, this is actually as best as it could get. Finishing third to face Mexico and then to potentially face one of England or Cape Verde in the round of 16, that's as best it can get if you're Scottish, man. Anyway, I'll go back. I'll stop going on about this. Um, Yeah, I was talking to cousins in the UK, and they told me it's like, yeah, it's just bad. It's bad. Where me and the family are just surviving. We didn't even go outside today. Like it's that there's just no point. Um, there's just no point at all. Canada looked like they did. I to be honest, I think uh, Can- Canada should win, but if South Africa are growing into tournament, they're now being allowed to be a bit more expansive, a bit more sort of, because I think a lot of people are looking at South Africa like, why are they so a little bit? So if that's the case, I would be slightly worried. All sit down, good luck. But Ecuador at least coming out are not going down fine. South Africa style players were different from Canada's. Exactly, exactly. I think I would be worried if I was Canada, to be honest. They really have to do some. They've got the time to prep, so I'd be thinking long and hard. Is that confirmed as well? By the way, let me see. Yeah, I think it's scheduled. It says scheduled. I think that is confirmed that South Africa, Canada is definite. Um, so that says scheduled, but everything else as it stands, which means that they could potentially change, which I guess makes sense because Paraguay, yeah, most of the stuff is still in flux. But you'd expect Germany to beat. But I mean, this is interesting, man. If it stands like this, Germany, France, round of 16. Germany, France, round of 16. It's one of the things that I said because I was listening. Big FSSB. Morocco will go in a low block and Dutch keep possession. Haiti's speed caused Morocco a lot of issues. Dutch is kind of soon and breaking out, but better. Yes, although I do think that the Morocco could potentially hurt Netherlands on the wings. I think if they could, because I don't rate the Dutch fullbacks, to be honest. I think if they could push them up and be a little bit adventurous, you don't have to deal with them in the park, but if you can, get Matswari and Hakimi forward, and just cross, 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 you might be able to cause Netherlands some problems. Because I still don't think defensively that they're that great. Van Dijk or no Van Dijk. Come on, ref, right in front of the 18. Come on. Yeah, I don't know what this ref has been. She's been okay, but not helped by VAR. I don't think. For those who are tuning in, it's 1-1 Ecuador, Germany, and 1-0 Ivory Coast, Curaçao. Curaçao obviously going home. That was always going to happen. Um, Côte d'Ivoire was going to be second, Germany's going to be first. The key is for this and for Ecuador is that Ecuador need to win in order to stay in the World Cup. Will they? That is the question. But I was saying, I was listening to HH's Hangout, and when people talking about, this team comes across, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, this is the most important thing. Because it doesn't matter about hypotheticals. You've got to see who they're coming up against. And I look at this as it stands, and you know, Germany versus France. That means one of these teams is not going to get through past the round of 16 if it if it keeps like this, and it probably will because France, I think, have effectively topped the group. It's just whether or not Sweden will be third, which I'm not sure whether they will, or even qualify. Because I think they're gonna. Because I know they've got goals, but I think that Japan are gonna spank them. So I suspect there'll be someone else. But round of 16, Germany, France, man. And then in this bracket, you've got Netherlands. So assuming it's the Netherlands that goes through, you could have a France Dutch quarters. To be honest, looking at this, Argentina actually have the easiest run. This is Argentina's, but I think Argentina in the easiest bracket here. Easiest. Because in this half, in this kind of bracket until the because this is round of 32, round of 16 quarters, and then semi-final is here. Yeah, round of 32, round of 16 quarters. Literally, the teams that Argentina basically in the semi-final, as far as I'm concerned, based on this. Because literally, they have Uruguay, Australia, Iran, Switzerland, Algeria, Colombia, and Croatia. As it stands, that's it. Argentina are by far superior to all these teams. It's literally it's literally a bye to the semis because they're beating Uruguay, they're beating whoever comes out of Australia, Iran, they're beating whoever comes out of this Switzerland, Algeria, Colombia, Croatia. I mean, Colombia will at least make it. If it's Colombia, Argentina, at least Colombia will make it at least a bit feisty. Diaz and stuff like they're doing. So I do hope that if it comes to it, it will be a Colombia Argentina quarters. Because yeah, Australia, Iran, you got guys. No, no. Although again, this is as it stands. Could be different. Let's see. Morocco doesn't really put crosses like that, though. It's more like ball splitting. That is true. That's what I'm saying. Like, oh, who's been booked? Yeah, come on. One of the reasons why I love the World Cup, as someone said, is that for at least a good month, you know, people at least realize that, like, it's a bunch. You realize that it is really just politicians that divide the world. It really is. You see Japanese fans with Mexico fans, stuff like that. Everyone's just supporting their team and the passion and the food and stuff, and you're just kind of like, oh wow. And there's no other tournament in history. But that's why, like, as much as I'm against expanding the tournament, just from a purely cultural perspective, I can see why. Like, just from a pure like if it was up to me, and maybe people would disagree with me, I'd actually expand it. I'd actually get rid of a lot of these qualifiers. Get rid of qualifiers. Don't care. Um, Maybe a preliminary phase. That's it. You can have qualifiers for your continental cups or whatever, but for World Cup, I just get rid of them. Get rid of the qualifiers. Just have a big tournament. I would have, like, you can have it 64 whatever, but what I would do is I would just have two. I would have two group phases. Um, I'd have two group phases. And I would seed teams and then proceed from there. That's what I would do. And then instead of like a month, it would be like for over like 2 months, for example, like a big major tournament. That's it. That's what I would do. Anyway, what's interesting is Germany has a lot of technicians that can cause France issues. They do, but I still think France's attack is way better than Germany's. You know, for some reason, Nagelsmann loves Kai Havertz. over his own mom, it seems. I don't know, but um, Havertz. The France the attack is just too. Yes, they can cause some problems, but when you have so can France. Um, I would still put France as the France look like they're in the mood. I think. Yeah, Argentina cakewalk. It's a cakewalk. Out of all the teams, maybe Colombia, but yeah, exactly. It's Argentina. If that as it stands, that is as it stands. Argentina basically have a bye to the semi, and even in that semi, if I look at the thing, it will be from the eight of Brazil, Japan, Ivory Coast, Norway, Mexico, Scotland, England, Cape Verde. And out of all those teams, the only teams that I think could have a chance against Argentina are either England or Brazil. A Japanese Argentina versus Argentina would be interesting, I must confess, but I just think that would they have the know-how to deal with the Argentinian? I don't know. Brazil, it's just purely because of the rivalry. Not because I think Argentina are better, but because of the rivalry, because of the hype. I think that they would give Argentina. It would be a good game. And England, Valencia in England, just because uh, I don't think Argentina would be as low blocky as say a Ghana, for example. They have a bit more space and they have attackers that could cause problems. I don't think that means they'll win, but they could at least cause Argentina problems. Because there's a part of me that still thinks Argentina do look really, really balanced, but are they relying on Messi too much for their attack? Because outside of Messi, the other attackers, Lautaro, etc., look awful. Anyway, almost half time, man. Should be into the last minute. If Portugal top their group, it's Argentina versus Portugal in the quarters. They need to beat Colombia, though. And that would be, I think that's what people want. Maybe not Ronaldo, though. Maybe Ronaldo might be telling them, guys, just relax. Guys, because I think have Portugal definitely got second or not? I can't remember. Have they definitely got, because in their group it's I guess technically they haven't. They technically haven't definitely got second because they drew with DR Congo, and I guess in theory, if DR Congo match Uzbekistan, which they're not going to score 5 goals, DR Congo, but maybe they might score 2 or 3. Then yeah, it could be depending on how badly Colombia beat Portugal. DR Congo could still technically finish second, because Portugal would only have 4 points, and it'll come down to GD. I just don't like Germany's formation. I don't know. Yeah, USA. I mean, let's just go back. What's the USA's one? Let's see. Where are they? Where are the USA again? They're in. Yeah, I mean USA. Yeah, because you see USA, they beat Bosnia. They probably do beat Egypt and South Korea. And in the quarters, USA's run is a good run, and then you then have Portugal. Well, as it stands, Portugal, Ghana, Spain. I actually think, ironically enough, Ghana. If Ghana would give the USA problems, I think they would. All these teams in this side would probably give USA problems for different reasons: Austria, Spain, Portugal, Ghana. But so yeah, I think when they get to the quarters, whoever comes out of here will be a bit of a challenge for the USA, and I suspect they'll be stopped there. But you know, if they do somehow get through this team, you got a semi-final of uh well, was it semi or quarterfinal? Sorry, let me get this confused. Round of 32, round of 16, quarters, semis. Yeah, it'd be probably like some like France or well, it's gonna be France. I'll predict. I think it's gonna be France. It's gonna be the semis. I've said this for a while, guys. I think that it's my prediction is a France Argentina rematch, just based on the lineup. If France get through Germany, I think they got through to the semifinals because I think they beat all these other teams. Um, and then depending on what comes through here, I don't know. Could US make a cheeky semi? Could it be Portugal? I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, Poch has no excuses not to get a semi. No. His excuse not to get a semi is because it's the US. Like the US, a quarterfinals is good for the US. For me, that's the case. Anyway, we're going to be going for a brief break halftime. Don't go anywhere, guys. Germany won, Ecuador won, Curacao nil, Ivory Coast won. But as we said, Ecuador need to win. They need to win. Don't go anywhere. Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. About 10 minutes late. I apologize. I had to go and get something and sort something out. So I'm really sorry, guys. But we're back. Really sorry about that, everyone. 10 minutes late into the path. That was a. Sorry about that, everyone. Oof, we're back. We are back. Ooh, what was that? Oh, Mascherano? I wonder what he's doing in the Ecuador game. Maybe it's tickets or I don't know. And friends. Guys, it's warm outside, man. It's really warm. It's really warm. Still 1-0 Ivory Coast. Of course, I mean, I could tune into that, so and that's but at the end of the day, I forgot I was supposed to send an email. Anyway, it is fine. Check Fabrizio. Fabrizio. What's Fabrizio saying now? Oh, Elliot Anderson. Yeah, but I mean, we knew 130 million. Yeah, I mean, we knew. Yeah, but I knew that. Shout out to him, but yeah, I mean, I knew it was coming, and you know, 130 million medical. Yeah, here we go, Elliot Anderson, 130 mil to City. Yeah, 130 mil. That's that. It doesn't surprise me. So, oh, Ben Jacobs, did he break the story? Did he? Yeah, like I said, for me, right now, the quartet is, and it makes sense because Jacobs is based in England, as is Ornstein. But for me, the quartet of England Premier transfers is Jacobs, Ornstein, and Fabrizio. The thing that Fabrizio, in my opinion, has over Ornstein is that he can talk more about. He will probably break the ones that are more with Italy and Spain and outside the Premier League, but within the Premier League, it's Ornstein and Jacobs are coming. So those guys are reliable. But I mean, I don't know. I don't think this dude is worth 130 million pounds, and he's not playing under Pep. So I don't know. It's an interesting one. I mean, some people say it's Man City prepping for, they really want to back Maresca and everything like. But what happens if it doesn't work out? Um, he obviously trained on the Peps, have the same philosophy, etc. So, but I don't know. There's a lot of. It's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to next season because there's so many variables next season. There's been so much change. Obviously, the biggest one being that Pepper's left. Um, but Liverpool sacked Slot, who got them the Premier League. United obviously continuing with Carrick. De Zerbi came towards the end of last season with Spurs, and they want to obviously do something. Um, Chelsea also got a new manager with Alonso next season. Um, and then Arsenal have still got Arteta, but defending a back-to-back trophy is different. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Next season, because no doubt if Maresca flops, he could flop hard. And my experience of my observation is that City overspending money on English players has never worked. They spent 100 million on Grealish. Yep, I appreciate Grealish. Oh, he's got a treble, he wants this, but at the end of the day, like it was. I'm not gonna City Manchester fans gas me. Like he is a flop. And then you had Calvin Phillips, completely destroyed, his career. Oh, unlucky Enner Valencia. Unlucky Enner Valencia. Well, they've got to go for it now, Ecuador, man. They got to do something because they need to win. And if they do win, I'd be worried about Scotland right now. If Germany get a second goal, it's over, man. Oh, it's a good cross, but saved. Good block. I feel sorry for the Ecuadorian crew. I mean, it's their fault though, man. You need to beat Curacao. Rodriguez. Kevin Rodriguez. Mm-hmm. 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 But yeah, on the Anderson thing, yeah, he was always going to City. But like I said, um, City and English players, as in overpriced English players. I'll be honest, the best English players for City comes of consistency. I don't know. I think it's probably Foden. People would say Stones, but just Stones are just too many injuries and inconsistent. He's going. Foden, okay, but he's obviously not there. That's it. I don't know. Nico is young. He still will see what happens, but that's it. Oh, Ivory Coast have got another goal. It's a brilliant goal. An Ivory Coast to 2. It's Pepe with a brace. But as we know, it wouldn't make a difference. But Curacao are going home. And they tried their best. It's a free kick to Ecuador. Ooh. Vitinha, okay. Ecuador still have the ball. They need to win. Ecuador need to win. Ooh, and too easy. No catches. Ecuador have just got about 25 minutes to get something from this game. If you're Scotland, though, you're happy. If you are Scotland, you are happy. Ooh, if you're having a break, words. Oh, words. Office feats. Some nice play from words there, but just not the final third. Not great to finish it off there. And goal kick. This City move is insane. In a positive or negative way. I'm sure the Nottingham Forest owner is very happy with an extra 130 mil. He'll be able to use that to push. And neither do I. Neither do I. I think it's money laundering. I think it's, hey, we're getting investigated, so let's buy the British talent and hype. It's money laundering. Absolute money laundering. And like I said, I've seen City play. They Grealish flopped. Calvin Phillips flopped. They spent, I think, 65 mil on Calvin Phillips. Spent 100 million on Grealish, all flopped. Almost 200 million. You know, I can't think of a single English player that City have signed has actually succeeded at the club. You know, they're in-house. Okay, Foden, has done well. Nico coming through, but they're like homegrown players. But the one in terms of English players they've signed with those fees, like I'm not saying Anderson is he's okay, but 80 million maximum, 130, he's gonna flop. And on top of that, you're not even being coached by Pep, you're being coached by Enzo, who again, he's an okay coach, but he's not a world-class coach. We saw with Chelsea. I mean, okay, City a better team than Chelsea, but people need to remember that this guy was literally, he went from being the manager of Leicester City to managing a Chelsea team who, well, what they achieved was winning a friendly tournament and the Conference League. And I think he got them finishing fourth. I don't know. I really think that we'll see. And like I said, that's why I'm interested to see what happens the next season. Oh, world record. as a world record. Is that the amount of people that are viewing or viewing the game, or they're showing a world record in the stadium, FIFA World Record? I don't know what is, but honestly, how much better is he than Phillips? Phillips was better breaking lines, but Anderson's better at switches. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe like I said, because obviously its ends will be different, but I don't know, man. That's why, like I said, I'm interested to see the next season because there's a lot of narratives going into next season, and there are going to be a lot of truths because there are going to be some answers to the narratives because not everyone is going to be able to win. And you've got, I mean, you know, is the Zerbi going to be successful with Spurs despite the money spent? That's one thing. Are Spurs going to be back? Should Newcastle sack Eddie Howe given where they finished? Will Carrick be successful at Manchester United now they're all in different competitions? Will Areola make the step up given they was at Bournemouth to Liverpool, given they recently won a league? Will Alonso adapt to the Premier League? And will he really work with the Chelsea players? Will he even be backed? Can Arteta defend the title and progress to win the CL next season? It's and will Maresca? Oh, a mix up between Tar Neuer. Oh, wide. Oh, Ecuador. Come on. That was a big chance for Ecuador. Should have scored. Will Maresca was oh, it's not Neuer. Okay, man. Nah. SSB, if you're watching this game, man, I love Neuer. For me, he's one of the goats of the goalkeepers, but he's old now. He's old. Peak Neuer is arguably one of the best footballers of all time in terms of his position, because you can't really compare goalkeepers up forward, but in terms of what he did, he like reinvented the whole sweeper keeper thing. And obviously being a good shot stopper, but the sweeper keeper thing, playing with him, but what he did. But yeah, he's too old, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm telling you. Before I was waiting. I know. That's why I'm saying like, if France meet Germany, I think it's gonna be tricky unless the defense is really switched on. And France's defense is like France and Argentina, ironically enough, have the best. I argue have the best centre back pairings. And Brazil, to be fair, Brazil have Gabriel Marquinhos. You've got Lisandro Romero for Argentina, and then France have Saliba and Upamecano. Those three teams. That's the top three centre back pairings, I think, or which is one reason why I think they will probably go far in the tournament. They're not going to concede that many goals. Brazil only conceded the one goal to Morocco, and then they didn't concede any after that. Argentina, I don't think have conceded yet. And France have also only conceded one, I think. It's in a big. Oh yeah, it'll be against France if the thing is correct. It will be against France. I just think he's gonna be humiliated, and it's not gonna end well. Oh, as an aside, I'm all up for women referees and things and tournaments and stuff, but it is a little bit odd seeing them when FIFA basically said that like they couldn't have like men's coaches or men's refs in the women's game. So it's a little bit cocketic. It's like women only coaches and officials in the women's game, um, but the men's game it doesn't really matter. That's a bit it confused me a little bit. Oh, Sane, and Sane should have killed Ecuador there. It's getting open now because Ecuador need to win. They need to go for it now. It's going to be Mbappe chasing ball or shooting virtual hours, and then a blunder happens. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mbappe dubs a hattie, because you've got to remember that, especially in a group stage when teams are more compact. Oh, Rodriguez blocked. Ecuador corner, man. They're coming. I don't know why Ecuador didn't play like this. I've got no idea why they didn't play like this. I mean, they still would have finished. I don't get it. They still would have finished third because they lost to Ivory Coast in the first game, but still. Could have made it interesting because if they beat Ecuador, they've scored. It's in. And Ecuador have scored. It's in. Ecuador have scored. They've scored. Ecuador have scored. A set piece, and Neuer's beaten at the near post, man. This is bad. And if you're Scottish, you got to look away now, man. The issue with women's for me is that they can't get physically. She's having trouble with the pace of the games. I mean, a little bit. But even then, like I said, I just find it odd because for me, it's all about having a consistent message, consistency. If you think it doesn't matter, physically make a difference, then why is the reverse wrong? Is that Neuer, man? Oh no, it's a head in and then it's a tap in. Ah, I see. He's actually been pulled, which is terrible marking. He clicks it, Neuer goes in. It's a good finish. It's a good. I can't blame Neuer there. Actually, well, can you? Is that Neuer's fault? Because why is a defender? It's like, is that Tar, man? Or La? Like, I hate that type. I can't stand that type of defending. Like when you're pulling the get goal side. Get goal side. I'm sorry. If you're gonna be marking someone, just get goal side. Don't be trying to play an offside on like. For me, I do not get people when people want to try and play offsides in the corner. Don't think about playing offside. When it's cleared, then you can try and do that. But don't get goal side, Tar. If he's goal side, he doesn't have the opportunity to shoot. You know, I'm not. It is Neuer's fault still, but I can see like it's point blank. Like the header comes in, and what's his name? A Platter taps it. Like it's difficult when it's literally point blank, and like he's not expecting the ball to sort of hit, and then boom, bro. Yeah, play goes on. You have to get up, man. Ecuador, this whole sitting thing, you know, oh sit and we're gonna no, bro, you're gonna have to get the ball and kick it away. These refs aren't gonna blow the whistle for you, man. Look at his plans. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a Neuer mistake. I don't disagree with that, but like the defender's got to get goal side, man. He's got to. He has to, man. Right now, how does this change things? I think obviously it doesn't change the if we scroll up, it's obviously 2-1. It doesn't change the table because Ecuador's still third, um, but they've got 4 points, which means that if you're Scotland, you better turn away, man. If you're Scotland, you better turn away. I mean, I think they were already. Yeah, Scotland are right now eighth in terms of their position. They are literally hanging on, and then you've got Cape Verde, Belgium, DR Congo, Senegal. I think Scotland are not going to make this, to be honest, which is a shame for the Tartan Army. But the 3 goals they conceded, you can't. If it's 2, you might have a chance. 3, Germany, they need to beat Ecuador here, and they're losing here. But they know they're top, so it's difficult. It's kind of the problem with having all these different games. But at the end of the day, you need to win what's in front of you, don't you? So looking at this table, I mean, Ecuador actually now are the top of the third place rankings. They're definitely through. So you're just hoping, that Japan, if you're Scotland, that Japan maybe dunk on Sweden, that helps you. Ghana maybe beat Croatia, that helps you, but I don't think they'll do that. Algeria, I don't know who's actually placing Algeria. Uber, and Paraguay get dunked on by whoever they're playing. I can't remember, but is it USA? I think. Yeah, USA versus no, it's Australia, and they might just draw it out. So I think they'll probably just go for a draw because that's all they need. So really, Scotland are going to need Austria to do them a favor, which they might not. I think Algeria have got a thing against Austria. Yeah, I'm looking at these matches. I think Scotland to get eliminated, man. Because Cape Verde, Belgium, Congo, Senegal, all these teams they're gonna do something. They're gonna get something. They're gonna get something. The only hope I think is Sweden, Belgium screwing up, Senegal screwing up, which is very possible. So anyway, I'll comment on the game. Double standard. Nobody ever clowns Neuer like Buffon. That is true. I think the thing with Buffon is that Buffon really, really, really need to retire. And Neuer and the Serie A is obviously a lot more competitive, closer than the Bundesliga. So in the Bundesliga, he could basically hide that because he's the goalkeeper Bayern. So he's not costing Bundesliga titles and are still getting through. I mean, they was in a semi of the freaking Champions League. So with Buffon, and then when he went to PSG, and for me, the epitome of Buffon was nightmare in Paris, man. United shouldn't have gone through that, but you got dunked on by Lukaku and Chong and stuff. It's over. Yeah, Germany topped this group regardless. That is true. Yeah. That's why the game doesn't really mean anything for Germany. It was really for Ecuador, and Ecuador ultimately needed something to they needed to play something. As it stands, though, I think it'll be England versus Ecuador. Yeah, as it stands, it'll be England versus Ecuador, which is actually going to be a hard game for England. I think. I think England can win, but it will be hard if Ecuador play. I mean, obviously Germany, they're top regardless. They're not going to really go for it. So, but if Ecuador play like they're doing now, it's going to be difficult for England. But I think if they can get through Ecuador, they'll beat whoever is on the line of Mexico or Scotland, and it's probably not going to be Scotland, to be fair. But yeah, obviously things are going to change in terms of position and stuff like that. Because I think it was Cape Verde at one point or something. So, yeah, I feel. Let's have a look at what games are left. I'm still trying to work out a way for how Scotland are going to. 4 minutes left, and I thought Ecuador would be one of them that would lose. That I didn't think Ecuador were going to beat Germany today. I didn't think they had the fight in them. But you could argue a bit of justice. Oh, fair play to them though. I think doesn't that mean? I think it means that every single South American side has qualified for the round of 32. I think every single. I mean, we were slating South America at the beginning of the tournament that they hadn't turned up, but I think all of them have qualified. I mean, Paraguay maybe will hold on to them for a second because they are in a good position and they might just draw Australia, but we'll see how the game plans out. They may play out a draw, but you know, I guess there maybe is something to play for in the sense that who's finishes second, who finishes third. So if Australia do beat Paraguay, or vice versa, that can cause problems maybe. But yeah, I think every South American team, Morocco, Ecuador, obviously with the 4 points, will Uruguay. Oh, actually, Uruguay. Don't know about Uruguay yet. To be fair, we don't know what Ecuador doing. Oh, they need to defend better. They're trying. Everyone's headering the ball and trying to clear it. They need to clear. Yeah, Uruguay actually. I've okay. Now Ecuador break. Ecuador breaking now. It's a good. Oh, and Neuer. Yeah, sorry. I've just realized it's Uruguay. Yeah. Because Group H is an interesting group because technically Spain have not topped the group yet. And Uruguay need to win. And if Uruguay win, they actually go ahead of Spain. I do think Spain will probably beat Uruguay, but that's Group H is an interesting one. A very interesting group because all teams could all qualify still in whatever. I think only Saudi Arabia probably can't finish top, but they could finish second if they beat Cape Verde and Spain beat Uruguay. So there's an interesting Group H is one to look out for actually. Um, but so for 7 minutes, Ecuador need to hold on for 7 minutes. Musiala has been awful, man. He's been awful today. Ooh. Germany putting the pressure on now. Buffon also is personally larger than I remember this guy used to take the ball from his fullback to do throw-ins, and when he did it, he fell for it. Yeah, that's true. Although Neuer has a bit of a bigger personality as well. I mean, that's why he's no German goalkeeper's been able to touch him. He does have his thing. It's just that it's not reported as much in the English media. Oh, good turn. But Rodriguez is offside. Germany are really bad. I mean, it's difficult to assess because you're saying they're bad, but really, yes, the physicality would have helped, but also they do know they've already topped the group regardless of what they do, so they don't really need to exert themselves. It is a bit difficult to switch on if you know that you whatever you do today, whether you win, lose, or draw, it doesn't really matter. Off tangent, but I think Solanke Simpson can beat a German England, but a France team is too far. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know. It come for me. It just comes to the fact that whose attack is better, but we'll see. Side netting, we'll see. Undove is there. Imagine if Ivory Coast had defended this well. They'd probably be top in the group. Jeez. Literally, if Ivory Coast had hung on or they'd scored that goal, they'd be top in the group with the winning Curaçao and the draw. They'd have been top of the group easy. Instead, they defensive lapped and made a brick. It's obviously 2-0 Ivory Coast Curaçao. So Ivory Coast could easily top this group. And then this would have been a much more interesting turn of events of the game. Because then Germany would, if it was a draw, not only would have 4 points, and Ecuador would have also had 4 points. But they would have been second, and Germany would have been third. So Germany easily could have finished third in this group, but for that last-minute goal by Undov, and the fact that the Ivorian Coast messed up that big opportunity. That's literally the difference between Germany finishing third and not. Europe's still superior, but some among teams are past their prime as well. 80-year-old Messi isn't the best they have. It's like the best player in the continent. I mean, let's look at the European teams. I mean, obviously it's difficult. Third place qualifiers right now. 3 minutes left. But looking at the tables, Group A, Czech Republic eliminated. Group B, okay, Bosnia Herzegovina qualified, but they were third. Switzerland were first. Shout out to Europe. Group C, Brazil, Scotland are European, but they may end up probably not. Group D, Turkey eliminated. Group E, okay, Germany top, that's fair. Although again, Ivory Coast last minute goal, they could have easily been third. That flick. Chainsaw, speak on your on words to flop, man. It's not looking, if you're listening, Chainsaw, it's not looking good for Florian Wirtz or Squirt. It's not looking good, man. I think he may be one of the greatest Premier League flops of all time at this point. I'll give him another season, but you flopped the first season Liverpool, and you're flopping for Germany here. With his chance, they should have been out of sight. Vinny is one player I do not trust. Too on off for me, not consistent enough. We'll see though. He's got how many goals right now? So let's see. Ecuador need to hold on to the ball. Okay, this is pretty good for that. Foul. Germany were not convincing foul. I mean, I agree. I don't think Germany are gonna. But obviously, when you look at the path, I mean, who are they? Who? Well, let me just see. As because they obviously topped the group. As it stands, Germany are facing Paraguay next. But then, as it stands, we obviously don't know what's going to happen in that group because I think that Australia might have something for them. Um, but um, but if they do, they meet France. France, I think, will beat these guys. RDS, look at the defense systems. Yeah. But is he going to get a hat trick? I don't know. I think those guys have more attack. That's the problem. Also, Roberto Martinez is a brick. So that's the key thing. Roberto Martinez is a brick. Lucia, maybe Germany's. Lucia has been awful, and they've done it. Big up Ecuador. They've done it. Big up Ecuador, man. Well done to yeah. They gambled. Well done. They did it. It came out on top. Well done. Well done. Well done to Ecuador. Shout out to Caicedo, man. Well done. They did it. Shout out to Ecuador, man. And you see what it means to everybody. Only the second time Ecuador will knock out, but shout out to them, man. France will destroy South America. Yeah, I mean, Argentina, although except Argentina. I've already said, Chainsaw, my prediction is a France Argentina final. For me, they have the best 11 squads. Um, it's going to be a rematch. Unless something drastic happens, from what I've seen so far for the teams, it's going to be a rematch. Germany, England, not strong enough. Spain, I just don't think they have. They rely on Yamal to give the time. If Yamal and Nico don't click, Spain not great. Portugal, you know, like, to be honest, the weird thing is my dark horse is for the tournament of Brazil. I think potentially they can click. And they're the only team that I can think that, because of the rivalry and the passion, could go toe to toe with Argentina as well as with France. Because I know then that it's more. Wait, I thought this game it counts. 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 It counts when you've had a bad season and you're not having a bad World Cup. Bruno had a good season, so this it counts. It counts. Ecuador apparently now earn 12.5 million for qualifying 2013. That's why they also. I don't think that's the sole reason. I don't think that's the sole reason. Although, I mean, is that even going to go to the players, etc.? But shout out to the manager, man. Look at how happy they are, man. The belief, man. They deserved it, man. They actually deserved it. And Nagelsmann has to take humble pie for a little bit. I mean, it doesn't matter, but I wasn't really happy with how Nagelsmann reacted after the Ivory Coast game. But you know, is it Bakasia, the manager? Yeah, just shout out to him. Nagelsmann can hold that. Nagelsmann can hold that. I mean, let's look at the stats. 8 shots to 11, each through on target, 61% of the first 9% possession. But 2 shots, 3 shots, 2 on goal, 3 shots, 1. But obviously Germany still top the group, but yeah. As it stands, Ecuador facing England. Let's see who's who. So as it stands, Germany are facing Paraguay. Ivory Coast are facing Norway. Interesting. As it stands. Haaland, let's see what he does. And then England are facing Ecuador as it stands. Ivory Coast versus Norway is interesting. I wonder what Erling Haaland would do against his Brazilian team. Argentina is overrated. Wait, how France attack midfield is only where France might lose. Yeah, that's the key thing. It's just that both of the teams defensively are solid. I don't rate their fullbacks either, but yeah, Argentina's midfield is better than France's midfield, I think. But the attack, if you can get the ball to Elise, man, is Argentina don't have an Elise. Let's put it that way. Argentina don't have an Elise who can create and find stuff out of nothing. Big ups, yes, please, please, please hit the like, hit the like, like. We are rounding up, but we will be live again for the next. Ecuador deserved to win the game at the end of the day, but we were reliant again at midnight for Tunisia. Well, not Tunisia, Netherlands, because I'm through, but Japan, Sweden. I would say I'm staying up for Turkey, USA, and Paraguay, Australia, but probably not. It's going to be Japan, Sweden. That's going to be the game. But tomorrow, Norway, France, Mbappe versus Haaland. You bet we're going to be there. Anyway, guys, remember to hope. Thanks for getting involved in the chat. Really appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, to like, subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, Red Devil 2X. We're also on Twitch as well. Have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Peace.